this time?
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
I'm not saying I called you out on Twitter or anything, like in the middle of a show that you were doing.
Yeah, it's all right. And tweet during a show. No big deal.
Dude, you tweet from the bathroom, and I know you do because you literally say, I'm going to the bathroom, and then tweet at me while you're in the bathroom.
That's right.
While recording the show.
I have to
bathroom
reply.
break.
I have to reply, man. You send me a picture of your cute cats. I'm gonna reply.
Yeah. Dude, fucking Dwight looks so fucking comfy.
That's a comfy, like, elastic cat. That cat knows how to chill.
1,000%. Like, the dude... And the worst thing is he curls up in the worst places, and then he thinks my skin is a blanket. Like, it might not make sense to cat owners or dog owners. I don't know if I'm pretty sure dogs do it too. But that thing where they will get next to you while you have a blanket over you and do the scoopy motion to pull the blanket down so they can get next to you.
Making a little nest.
Yeah, like they'll do that shit. And then Dwight just does that to my chest. He's like standing on my chest. Like
scooping and making biscuits.
I'm not even wearing a t-shirt, and he's like, no, I want to get under. I want to get under.
Right, it's like,
that's my skin.
Please, God. Oh, man.
So annoying.
All right, I haven't dropped any frames. So we're
it looks like it's running okay.
Yeah. Let me unblock chat here. There we go.
As you may or may not have noticed, by the way, I totally have kind of solved my headphone issues with these headphones on this machine. I turned off Bluetooth on my phone.
Oh, you think they were like trying to pair to two things at once?
Uh-huh.
Right. That would make sense, yeah.
Because it seems to have fixed it.
Nice.
So now I don't get the stupid message on Adobe halfway through a recording saying the audio settings have changed. It's like, no, it didn't.
Shut up, Audition. Come on. Oh, man. Okay. All right, are you ready to knock this episode out?
Am I ready to knock one out? Knock one out? That means something different where I'm from, dude.
Do I want to know?
Nope.
You ready to do this episode? Do you record the thing? Speak into the mic. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpeer.
Hello.
The Nymph is out under the weather today. He's okay. He's already said it. He already said that a test came back negative.
Dude.
So, yeah.
Dude, we need to regain some form of mystique. The Nymph is out on assignment, doing things.
That's right. He's off to parts unknown. Wink. Yeah. I like
Let's see what press releases he comes back with.
That's right. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. All the behind the scenes, early access, exclusive, uncensored episodes. Pretty chill one this week, especially compared to last week's mutual anger fest. But yeah, we're talking a lot.
It's been a couple of weeks for you, we'll say, for the anger.
Yeah, talking a lot about TV shows this week. Not just the usual. So go listen to that. Get some cool audio. Get some early access audio, and help me pay for the show. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
You want to give that another take, or are we
what
just
have you? Take 2, 3, 2. Moon, what have you been playing this past week? Hello, I'm a professional.
No, we're not.
Absolutely not.
Well, technically, you get paid for this, so you are a professional.
My bills break even, so I guess
I guess you're a professional.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so if you listened last week, then you know the great hard drive debacle of 2021 has begun.
The hard drive cleanse.
Yes, Moon has come up with a plan for how he's going to play games from this point on. I just needed hard drive space to be able to do it. So I bit the bullet and I uninstalled Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Division, and Gears 3.
Okay. Gears 3?
Oh, sorry, Gears 5.
Okay, I was like, look, if you have Gears 3 installed on your hard drive, we absolutely need to have an intervention.
The fact that I still have Gears 5 installed on Gears 5 installed on my hard drive is a problem.
I just uninstalled that this week on mine too, because I was like, look, I love Gears 5. I had a blast with it. I'd love to check out the new expansion. I will absolutely not have time to do that.
I want to play it. I want to play the horde mode, and when
Yep.
when I have more time and I'm not literally physically and mentally exhausted at 7 p.m. on a Friday, and I don't know, I can put in the time to play horde mode with the guys.
Right.
Then I'll reinstall it, and hopefully
Sure.
they will have shrunk the file size down a little bit from its 93 gigabytes.
God, they're so big.
Which sometimes I'm not going to say. I'm not going to make the obvious joke following that sentence.
Also, like, the real bummer so far about this new generation of consoles is I feel like there was never the promise, but I feel like the intention was, hey, with this new gen of consoles, with the new SDKs and the new software on these consoles, and with the SSDs, you can choose what to install, especially like looking at your Call of Duty Warzone. Like, I only want to install Gears 5's Horde mode. I don't want to install 40 to 50 gigs of single player stuff. I'm not going to touch that stuff. I only want to install maybe the PvP half. And I feel like I can't think of a major game that's doing that, or I can't really think of any games that are doing that right now. There's probably like one or two.
Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Call of Duty is like literally the only one where you can go in and specify, I want Warzone, I want multiplayer, I want campaign,
Right.
I want these texture packs, those texture packs, so on and so forth. And the only reason it does that is because it's actually separated across two different games.
Right, right. God, what a nightmare. But like,
Because Warzone still runs off Modern Warfare, not the new one.
That's right, man. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like that has always been. Hopefully, that will be this generation's thing, where it's like, all right, the guys want to play Gears 5 Horde mode. I can just download that 15 gigs. Maybe not even the 4K texture pack, because who cares? I just want to download it and like hop into it. We can do that later. But like, it would be nice if more games would support that, just to say like, I just want to, let's not have to download 150 gigs. Let's download this little portion of it in 1080p and just kind of get into it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like sometimes even just uninstalling a game can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Because for all I know, that game is now 50 gigs, and they've just got 30 gigs of junk data that the last update failed to uninstall.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, you never know.
If you want to be surprised by that, by the way, folks, just go and clear out cookies on, like, do a cache and a cookie clear out on your hard drive on your console.
Yep.
And watch the 100 gig that you suddenly get back from all of that junk data.
Yeah, just from like random stuff.
Yeah. So next time I install it, hopefully it might be a little bit smaller. If not, that's fine. I've transitioned the games I want to beat onto my hard drive now, so that gives me a focus.
Phase 1 has begun.
Phase 1 has begun. I'm going to get to the Avengers Assemble moment eventually, where my hard drive is empty.
Right.
But now when I go into my games and apps thing, I can just click, select storage, internal only, done.
Right. And there's your focused list.
Exactly. There's my 25 games that I want to get done, that I want to get beat. I mean, I've got games on there that, for lack of motivation, I am 2 achievements away from getting the full 1,000 and just uninstalling it.
Right.
I'm looking at Astroneer. I'm looking at Diablo 3. I'm looking at like 6 different games that I'm like a smidge to the finish line.
98% of the way there. Yep.
And I sometimes I don't want it to end, so I leave it there and then I walk away and then I forget how to play. It's like, I might as well just start it again. So much changed since the last time I played it.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever. What Remains of Edith Finch, still installed, still on my internal, will never be deleted. It's like 3 gigs.
Yeah, like you're not. If you have to clear that out, then there's other stuff going on.
I may or may not have deleted like 7 4-gig games I've just never started. because it's just like, because 74 gig games is a lot of gigs.
Yeah, especially for the size of internal drives this gen is 28 gigs is not that could be an entire game for some of this stuff.
Exactly. It is an entire game for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Hitman 1, 70 gigs, by the way.
Woof. Boy. Okay.
Hitman 2, 89 gigs.
Oh man. I'm curious to see if we're just talking about like the promise of this current gen of consoles. I'm curious to see once we start getting more native current gen games, if we start seeing them do more interesting things with compression. Because a lot of devs, when the PS5 and the Series X, excuse me, finally got like officially unveiled, developers are like, look, these SSDs are super fast. Like, we can compress the hell out of this stuff.
Yeah. So you think that having console exclusivity on the new stuff will just mean? I mean, the medium was only like 19 gigs, if that. I think.
Yeah, like, and I wonder how much of that was saying like, look, this is, that wasn't on both current gen consoles, but you could see something saying like, look, this is only coming out on PS5 and Series X and S. So here's this cool new thing. It's not 100 gigs. It's 20. It's still 4K, 60, got all this stuff. You know what?
Well, medium was like PC and Series X only. Like it wasn't on the one and everything. So that could be the prime example of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Anyway, hopefully. What have I been playing?
20 minutes in.
Yeah, I've been playing the hard drive shuffle game.
Right.
Number one. Number two, the Watch Too Much Arrowverse shows.
Yeah.
Go check out the pre-show. Patreon.com/1on1. The ones and numbers.
That's right.
And let's get Destiny out the way first. Let's just talk about Destiny first.
D2. Okay.
D2. D cubed. Destiny cubed.
MDK2.
No.
Those games were fine.
No.
Not now. Not now. They'll probably play them. And
they went fine then, dude. They went fine then.
They were like a 5 out of 10. They were fine.
Fine.
They weren't good. So Destiny 2.
Yes, so Destiny 2. I have officially hit the point now where, number one, I found out I'm a moron, which you didn't respond to my text calling myself a moron, so I'm glad you agree with me on this.
It was a bad week. It was a real rough week.
So, having the Destiny Pro, in my phone,
in your contacts list. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and like, well, I can't do any of the these specific events that Boston's talking about because I don't know what Battlegrounds is. I don't know what this other thing is.
Yeah, all the current season stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have access to any of that stuff, and we don't know why.
Yeah, it just keeps saying hey man, you got to do Champion Rises, and I'm like, yeah, but it should have done it for it should have brought you in there.
Which it did. But I backed out because as soon as you load it up, it kicks you into a matchmaking and straight into that mission.
Yeah.
It's that's not the way I want to...
I need to know how to play it first. Yeah.
Which we discovered because I could jump over to one of my other characters and it would do the matchmaking. And then, it turns out I'm just a moron. I had to go to the Nessus.
Yeah.
And find the mission icon and then just launch it from there.
Yeah.
But when you highlight Nessus, it doesn't say that mission is there. It's, when you hit A on a planet and it just takes you straight to the mission. It says nothing about that stuff.
And it doesn't have the seasonal icon where it's the thing you're tracking is over here on this planet.
No, because you can't track it because it doesn't exist.
You haven't started it yet. Yeah.
So it's okay, fine. I finally found it. I did the stupid mission. I now know that the Cabal are invading, and to make peace, we have to make war. I don't know.
The Cabal are interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
A show of force is the only thing they understand. And Keitel as a villain she's great.
Okay. I don't know who that is. I'm only just getting over the weird frozen spider ladies, dude.
The frozen spider ladies?
Yeah, the Shelob of Destiny. The fallen ladies. The fallen people who had the darkness with the icy crystals and they froze themselves.
Oh, yeah, the Beyond Light stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm only just getting over that stuff. I
Yeah.
do have my second grenade now, though. So
Oh,
that's good.
nice. That one's fun.
And I'm also working on I have my icy grenade launcher thing.
Great. Yep, that's a fun weapon.
I'm working on my weird sword thing that you told me was super OP. So I'm
It's
working
so
on
good.
that thing.
Yep. It revs like a chainsaw. It's great.
I would probably like that more if I hadn't played so much Gears, if I'm
I
completely
know.
honest.
It's true.
Like, come on, Gears brought chainsaws back and Gears made chainsaws cool again, and then Gears used it so much that chainsaws were annoying again.
Yeah. That's fair.
And then Warhammer were like, yeah, we got swords chainsaws too. And it's like,
That's right.
enough with the chainsaws. And then Japan was like, he was a cheerleader with a chainsaw. It's like, no, stop with the chainsaws.
I'm sort of into it, but okay, I've had enough.
Dude, what you do with your weeaboo stuff is completely up
Yeah,
to you
not
and your computer.
not gonna kink shame here.
I did get the achievement for looking up that skirt, though.
Yeah.
I had to.
Gotta get full 1,000. Yeah.
But no, I'm working away on that, and now, as far as I can tell, the only thing I need is gear.
Yes. Yep.
Which means I now have to do all of the stupid golden icons, or like every weekday, whatever they are. Is there any other way other than those? Like, should I do daily? Should I do weeklies? Like, whoa.
There are some. You're largely going to look for the weeklies that reward pinnacle gear, because those are going to be the ones that get you there.
But other than the golden ones, though, is there anything like non-golden that I should be doing, or should I just be doing the golden stuff?
You can do some of the vendors in the tower. If you do like 8 of their daily quests per week, they'll give you a reward. I think those are pinnacle rewards. So that's Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit. Those 3 will give you, I think, a pinnacle reward.
Vanguard being strikes.
Right. Vanguard is strikes, then Crucible is PvP, and Gambit is Gambit. But yeah, you're sort of at the point where reset is Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's kind of your time to start doing what you want out of every week.
Yeah, get my golden stuff done before the week resets.
Yeah.
So because we did discuss the golden thing, so I did do an EXO challenge.
Yes, EXO challenge. Yep, that will give you a pinnacle reward. Yep.
Yeah, I did one of those, which was annoying because I did that. In doing that, I completed the mission to kill Vex with swords, and then when I went to speak to an EXO, the spider guy, he was like, "Cool, if you want this exotic weapon, do an EXO challenge." I was like, I
son of a
just did it, just like 2 seconds ago, dude. Can't you just like look? Let me get my watch out and go beep boop boop, and then you look here. Look,
yeah, I've got the video, man. Yeah, thankfully there are 3 of those, and they cycle every week. So next week's will be a different one.
Okay.
Keeps it a little fresher.
I think that should give me the sword.
I think so. Or there's like one short step after that, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got that. I've got the Battlegrounds thing unlocked now, whatever that does. I've got my artifact for the season.
Nice. Good.
Just in time for the season to end. Yay!
No, that doesn't end until May 11th. Yeah,
okay, whatever. But yes, I have to get my gear ranking up. I was really annoyed because I do the thing, I get the pinnacle reward, and then I end up getting exotics every single time so far. Right. Like the other day, me and you did the strike playlist, do 3 with the elements attached.
Yep.
And I got an exotic helmet. It's like, no,
Right.
I already have an exotic helmet.
I don't need another. Thankfully, it was a pinnacle reward, so you could just infuse that into some. Although it feels bad infusing an exotic into a legendary. It's just like
100%.
I want to go the
want
other
to
way.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I did the strike one this week and got another exotic, but this time it was boots.
Son of a.
Every time, dude.
That's
Every
hilarious.
single time. But yeah, I decided to jump into a game of Gambit with a bunch of blue dots.
Mhm.
Sorry, correct terminology, please.
Blueberries.
Thank you. You use yours, I'll use mine. So
Mhm.
blueberries, blue dots, same difference. So yeah, Gambit's a weird mode.
I love Gambit's my favorite mode in the game. And you had
So,
like the perfect match. You like
that was like my fourth match, by the way.
Yeah, you deposited like 30 something motes, you killed 50 something enemies,
It was 55 motes, dude.
there you go. You killed a ton of enemies, you didn't die, and your team won, like seemingly handily. It's just like you had a real great match.
Yeah, so here is the fun part.
Mhm.
I jumped into Gambit. The drift is there, like
Mhm.
twiddling around his onyx medal for
Yep.
reasons I don't know.
Because he's
Flicking
like
it and saying,
he's your
"Ting."
Destiny's creepy uncle.
Yeah, and like he flicks the thing and it's like ting, and he says ting, and
Yep.
it tings
Ding,
at the same
ding,
time.
ding. Yep.
So I'm guessing that's just him randomizing the monsters that you will face.
Yeah, because every time he flicks the coin, the symbol on it changes. He has a whole host of intros where he's like, he tucks it into one ear and pulls it out the other, and he goes, "Whoa!"
I've seen the ear pull.
That's my daughter's favorite one. She's always like, "What did he? What?" Just like, yeah, man.
So yeah, I jumped in that, and while matching with Guardians, I was like, no tutorial text, no tutorial notes,
nope.
And now there's a cutscene.
Yep.
Let me just Google how to play Gambit really quick.
Yeah, I was hoping we could go through and do before you had played this, I was hoping we could go through and do a private match so I could show you, like, here's what the motes are, here's where you dunk them, here's what an invader looks like, stuff like that. But if you had a match like that, you have figured out Gambit.
Mostly, to be honest, because I literally Googled how to play Gambit. And my favorite thing was, and it confused me for a little bit, but very much like Critical Misses, there was a lot I absorbed from other people unconsciously. And you talking about Gambit Prime for 2.5 years has made me realize that this is probably Gambit Prime, not original Gambit, because the tutorial I read came out like 3 years ago, I think, when Gambit first came out. And it's like, it's best 2 out of 3. It's like, no, it's not, you dude. It's like 1. It's one round.
When Beyond Light came out, they basically took Gambit and Gambit Prime and they smushed them together and kind of took like the best parts of both. So it is only 1 round, but it's not a circular thing like Gambit Prime used to be. So yeah, it's much, much, much faster than Gambit used to be. Because it used to be best 2 out of 3, and it's like, okay, here's another sudden death. So we're doing like 4 rounds. Oh boy.
Yeah. I'm fine with it the way it is.
It's solid.
It was a perfectly fine, enjoyable game mode that I wish didn't have the P part in it. I love the PvE. I hate the PvP part.
The PvP of Gambit has some problems right now. I think if they could do another pass on the PvP part of that, I think it would turn out really well. It's still a little bit favored towards the invader as opposed to the defenders. And that's frustrating.
Yeah, and I don't know about that, because me with my measly 1255 gear score, and I know it probably doesn't matter, but I also don't know the weapons, so when I'm getting single-shotted from a rifle that's not a sniper rifle, but I don't know what it is.
Right. Doesn't feel great.
No, it doesn't. Especially not when it's like single shot spawn, single shot spawn, single shot spawn. It's like, oh, the invader is leaving. He got 3 kills. It's like, yeah, that was all me.
Right. Just this guy.
Yeah. Flip side of that, Stasis seems OP as hell
Yeah,
because when I invaded, I got 3 kills and then survived. But I did
nice.
totally invade when I had my supercharge going and then
Yeah,
supercharge and jump through the portal.
yeah,
Because if I learned anything from OG Destiny PvP, that's how you do it. You supercharge before you run into
yeah.
the area with the enemies.
And you're a hunter, right?
And
Oh no, you're Titan, so you have
thank you.
Behemoth. Yeah. Behemoth's great.
T4L, dude. T4L.
That's right.
Let's
Well,
get our 3-letter acronyms down.
the hunter stasis super is really good too. The warlock one just keeps getting nerfed.
Which one? What does the Hunter one look like?
It's the spinning cyclone that's coming at you.
That's killed me like 6 times.
It's nasty.
And it stays there for a long time.
It hunts you down. It's real rough.
Didn't know that part, so that's great.
Yeah.
Note to self: don't stop moving.
Yes, that's right.
Everyone is just like previous experience with PvP and Destiny. Everyone is heavy ammo hogs.
Yes.
Nobody wants to share.
Yep. Multiple people can scoop from the heavy ammo, like the station that spawns on the map. You can multiple people can scoop it for like 5 or so seconds after the first person pulls. So it's not just like one person pulls from it.
That much I didn't know. So.
Yeah. Hey,
that's great.
Let's repeat the normal thing we talk about Destiny. It doesn't tell you.
I think at all.
So one of the design, one of the core design things behind Destiny is monkey see, monkey do, and for a lot of stuff that works, but for some stuff like this, it needs something.
Yeah, maybe a tutorial tip somewhere. Maybe a less quests, more guidance. Maybe.
Or even for some of these modes, just they have private matches for PvP and Gambit. Just make a real short one that just is a playable tutorial. You can go back and you can play it whenever you want, and it's just you against a bunch of PvE enemies, and it teaches you the steps. I'm sure it's not as easy to create as it sounds, but it will go along, especially since Destiny 2 is free on Game Pass for everything, and New Light is free on every platform. It would be nice to kind of continue to onboard new Guardians in a much, much easier way.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I had fun with Destiny, fun with Gambit. I played my requisite 3 rounds.
Yep.
I remembered this time to take all of the bounties from the Drifter guy before I started playing it, because usually I forget, and then I'm like, crap, I just did my 3. I am doing no more, so those bounties can go away now.
Yeah, we'll wait until next week.
So I did that. I got a whole bunch of stuff done in there. I think I'm actually at 1259 gear score now, so
nice.
I'm inching myself closer towards the 1330.
1310 is the max.
Okay, so whatever.
And you'll need to be 1325 to get in Grandmaster.
Grandmaster.
Yeah, those extra 15 will come from powering up your seasonal artifact.
Yep, which I believe right now is at +5 at the moment.
Have you unlocked anything in your seasonal artifact yet?
I have unlocked the cubes. I have not put anything in there yet because I don't know what any of them do.
Start with the very first column. Just pick all 5 of those. You'll need those for the harder stuff that's in the game.
Okay, because I think I have 5. So
yeah, just scoop up that whole first column, and I will give you a tutorial on what those mods do next time we play.
Yeah, I haven't even touched mods yet. Not at all.
Yeah,
because I don't have the weapons for it at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a bunch of gear grinding, got myself up a little bit. Again, Bizarro World continues to take place because I'm just pretty much played a whole bunch of Destiny. And one other thing, in preparation for this month's Game Club game, I'm playing Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
So
the prequel to Life is Strange.
yeah, number one, I agree. Life is Strange does not need a prequel.
Right.
That is potentially about as close to a perfect story game as you can get.
Yep.
Okay. The teens still talk like teens. That much I will admit.
It's a rough start to that game too.
Yeah. I honestly, when I was a kid, I talked all kinds of mess and in
for sure.
stupid ways. And that's what these kids do. I don't like that Chloe is not the same voice actor. I understand why.
Yeah. It's a
Doesn't
little
mean
jarring.
I have to like it.
Yeah.
Yes. The fighting mechanic is one of my least favorite things on the face of the planet.
It's not good. I think by the end, they largely just don't use it anymore. Because the feedback from the first episode that I shared was like, hey, this is no fun. This is no good. I don't want to do this at all.
You want a good example of that? Go do flighting in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
There you go. Yeah.
Because flighting is always done with a smile and a little cheeky
tongue-in-cheek
kind of thing. Yeah. This just feels like Chloe's an a-hole.
She just wants to pick a fight.
Yeah, and she is just an a-hole.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all about being the angsty, angry teen. I lived it.
Yeah.
So I am completely understanding of it. But I'm not 12 through 18 anymore.
Right.
I'm 30-something, and I don't really feel like accusing people of things that they clearly didn't do just to get out of a punishment.
Right. I'm too tired to fight. That's my motto.
Yeah. Come on, you apes, you want to live forever? No, I want to go to bed, dude.
Yeah, I just want to go lay down for give me 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I really don't like that mechanic at all.
No, I don't either. I mean, it's a real, especially coming off of Life is Strange, where the core mechanic is time manipulation. This one's just like, hey, you want to start a fight? It's like, no, that's not the relaxing playing guitar in my bedroom Life is Strange experience.
Yeah, or sitting on top of a ship watching the forest burn down.
Yeah.
So, this feels like a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot in this game that feels like a stretch, to be honest.
How far are you through it?
Probably about halfway through episode 2, maybe. And I think there's only 2 or 3.
I think there's 3, and the DLC for it, Homecoming, is really good, and I think it's 20 minutes long. That's the final bridge between Life is Strange episode 3 or Before the Storm episode 3 and Life is Strange episode 1.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the DLC takes place before the Storm, and then Before the Storm happens, and then episode 1 happens. It's okay, sure.
It ties the whole thing together in a way that I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much.
Yeah, I almost just referred to them as Amanda Palmer, which I'm pretty sure is a Twin Peaks reference, which I haven't seen Twin Peaks. Right. So I almost referenced something I haven't seen there.
Right.
But Rachel Amber, that's the one I was looking for.
Yep.
There's a little tease there that she might have powers, considering she screams at a fire and it burns a forest down. Okay.
That's a weird scene. I was trying to remember if I remembered that scene or not, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because the way they frame that is very much she screaming wind? What's
she screams and the wind picks up. And then she screams again and the wind picks up again. It's
Yeah. Something going on here. And it's just one of the heartbreaking parts about Before the Storm is just like watching this train crash over like 6 hours, which is like, I know what happens. I know what's going to happen. I'm just watching this slow motion train crash. It's ripping my heart out, man.
I'm not gonna lie, playing this kind of makes me excited about the remakes for Life is Strange because I could probably play that again, and I could probably play that in HDR and 4K now. It's like that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Those updated character models in that version look great. Yeah, very excited for like a remaster of the original ones, like slash almost a full remake, and then the brand new one.
Yeah, but yeah, so far it's fine. It's got the same kind of art style. It's got the same kind of storytelling, which I'm okay with. Don't get me wrong, the voice acting is a little bit weird. Amanda Palmer / Rachel Amber is fine.
Yeah, she's okay.
So far, I did find it funny that the last line she said to me before I stopped playing the game yesterday was, "Do you ever feel like you're just trying to fit into other people's roles?" And it's like, that's exactly who you are based on my experience with you in Life is Strange. Everybody sees the perfect girl in you because you play to what they want.
Right. And like the original game built up this mystique around her, which is like this missing girl that everybody just loved. Like she's the most popular girl in class that everybody in the school just fell in love with. You've
got like Vanessa Bob Hare talking about how she was the queen of the school, valedictorian, all this kind of stuff. You got Nathan Phillips talking about how she was a really good student, but also secretly kind of a bit of a party animal. Frank, the drug dealer, talking about how she was totally like rock chick and like really
like the love
of
his life
too.
Yeah.
And then you've obviously got Chloe, who like described her as like the perfect being with like the scar and everything else, and
like 100% in love with her.
It's like she literally is talking about like in this episode about how she doesn't know who she is because she's too busy playing up what everybody else wants her to be. It's
like playing a character.
Yeah, it's like maybe that's why in about 6 months you're gonna die.
Right, right. Things don't turn out well for you.
No, they don't, and it's kind of a good lesson to who cares. Like, be you. Who gives a crap what anybody else thinks? I have a weird beard and a strange face and bad teeth because I'm English and an accent and I live in America. That's fine. My knees are also shot. I am who I am, and if you don't like it, I don't really care.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Patreon and get out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me the $1, $5 ideally.
That's right.
Get us to 250 to scare Boston because that I do care about. But you know, it's high school worries, which I'm fine with because I'm playing a high schooler in this game.
Right.
But also I'm playing the worst kind of high schooler, which is me kind of high schooler, which was the whiny emo goth kid who slowly discovers they're goth.
I'm wondering how you'll feel, because I don't exactly remember how this game ends. I'm curious to see, but I remember finishing it like every month when a new episode would come out. I remember finishing the third episode feeling a lot more positively than I did at the beginning, because the beginning, especially like the first hour, is really rough. You're like, this doesn't need to exist. I don't want to fight with these people with this stupid fighting mechanic. I don't want to do any of this. And by the end, I was sort of like, you should play this if you like Life is Strange. It's an important part of the story. I'm curious if that still holds up.
Yeah, I'm fighting with a Samoan dude over the fact that he's got flowers on his motorbike, despite the fact that Samoans have flowers in traditional decorations.
Right.
Like,
and she doesn't really care.
I don't want to be a racist asshole.
Right. And she doesn't like really care. She's just fighting to like go do a thing. Yeah,
like she literally just wants to like an angsty teen just wants what she wants. Again, I get it. And again, having played Life is Strange, I know that David is not the complete D-bag that he portrays himself as.
Right. Nobody is quite who they seem.
Yeah, but like the step douche thing, like he's a good guy. who
He's just
has
not your dad.
the wrong way of doing things.
Right.
And it's like, I get it, and I know his story and everything else, but like the fact that Chloe's going to Blackwell and it's not yet a private institute that Max will eventually come back to, it's actually just a like private school at the moment. It's like,
Oh, right.
like you're stretching so many things to connect the dots in ways that you didn't need to. I know
Yeah.
it's set in Blackwell because they had it already made. They have the assets for it, and it's the
Yeah.
easiest way to do it. It shouldn't have been Blackwell. It should have been a different school.
Right.
Like, and yeah, don't get me wrong. I read the note that said that in the next couple of years, Blackwell is going to be transitioning to a fully private school because of the generous donation from the Powell resident family or whatever the names are.
Right.
It's like, I get it, but now you're just crowbarring in these devices to allow it to flow into Life is Strange 1.
Yeah. And it was so much better, or at least a little bit of a breath of fresh air when they announced Life is Strange 2. It's like everything's different. Don't even worry about it. We're telling a different story. It's like, okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
You got a resolution at the end of Life is Strange for sure, no matter which one you picked. We can be done with that. That's fine.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I did reread the plot synopsis for Life is Strange. It's like, oh, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the wheelchair.
Oh, God. Woof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened in that. Yep.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the junkyard that we hang out in, there's my dad's car. Because why not?
Yeah. Why not just keep twisting that knife?
Yeah. Life is Strange Before the Storm. It continues to be. I don't know is the problem.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Got to get it done soon, though, because Game Club is right around the corner, and that's Life is Strange 2.
Yeah.
So, fun times ahead. But that's all I've been playing.
My first game here is No Man's Sky. Sean Murray did his usual thing and just tweeted out an emoji, which means a patch is coming soon. So they put out the Expeditions mode this week, which turns out to be, hey, we're doing Diablo 3 seasons. You start a brand new character, and you have a set of 5 sets of different objectives, and you're kind of everybody who's playing Expeditions mode is following the same path through the universe from sort of point to point to point. So it's kind of neat to see a whole bunch of other people exploring at the same point that you're exploring. And I played a bunch of it this week, and it was kind of nice. Number one, it's not permadeath, so it's just easy. And it's kind of neat that each one of... So there are 5 like overall categories. Each one of them has 8 things to do in it. A lot of them are easy, where it's like, get 6 million credits. Kill 50...
10 minutes now.
Yeah, like sell 1,000 or 1 million credits in one transaction. Great. One set of ancient bones, that'll do it for me. Kill 50 sentinels. No problem. Like, learn 50 alien words. It's like, that's a hilariously low number. I can do that. So it's kind of all stuff that you're going to be doing as you're going from what they call rendezvous point from one to the other. And it's just kind of... It's very much... And they do the same thing in Diablo 3. Once the season is over, this character will roll into a normal mode character, so you can keep playing it if you want. And any rewards that you get from like each one of the 5 overall categories, those apply. You can redeem those on any of your characters, seasonal or not. So like if you do everything in the season, you get a gold version of the starter ship. You can just redeem that on any of your characters.
Is it a one-time redeem?
I don't believe so. I think it's like tied to your account now, and it's just kind of like any of your characters on this account can. I don't know if that goes between platforms. I haven't tried that, but I don't think they have full cross save, so I don't think so. But just like Diablo 3, it's like, all right, yeah, I can pop in here. I can play a bunch of No Man's Sky can do a bunch of really easy missions and a bunch of really easy stuff. Where it's like one of them is like discover an abandoned system. Cool. Found that real early on. Now I'm done. And it's fun to play in No Man's Sky, and it's not permadeath, so it's just super chill. No big deal.
Yeah, of course, another game that you have a problem with gets seasons.
Yeah, I'll do this first season, but I feel like I could do the same thing that I do with Diablo, where I like pop in, I'll play like an hour or two and sort of be like, yeah, the reward's not that great, so I don't think I'll finish. Like, I haven't even... A new season of Diablo just started, and I won't be playing this one, because I'm just playing 40 other different things right now. And I'll probably pretty quickly get to that point with No Man's Sky, where it's like, oh, good for you guys, like, there's a new season, all the challenges look pretty cool, but, like, I don't know if I need to play No Man's Sky again, especially from the beginning. So I'll go do that on the 3 other games I'm playing that all have seasons. Thank you very much. So the other game I've been playing, and it's sort of a silver lining that Nimp isn't here because nobody can stop us from getting all the way deep on this. The Binding of Isaac Repentance came out this week. Actually, for real.
No.
It's a for real thing.
I forgot about this. I made a note to myself to remember to talk about this with you today, and then I forgot about it until you literally mentioned it. Nimp, this is your fault, for the record.
Right. So, for anyone that... We're going to go pretty inside baseball here. I don't blame you if you just keep hitting that 30-second thing to keep going forward. I won't take it personally. I get it. Anyway,
we literally did a separate podcast about this for
60-something episodes. Yeah. So Ed McMillan, the designer of Isaac, half joked before this came out that this was Isaac 1.9. Because for anyone not paying attention, for the last 8 years, this is Isaac 1. Like, this is a remake of the Flash Isaac, but this is still Isaac 1. We have never gotten an Isaac 2. Boy, he wasn't kidding. Everything in this game is different. And the amount of stuff they have added to this game is insane. There are 25 new bosses, 125 new enemy types. There are 5,000 additional room types. There are 175 new items. Nearly every one of the original items in the game have been changed in significant ways. If anybody,
learn a new spreadsheet.
Yeah, it is. The flowchart is in shambles. Right, it's on fire. As an example, one of the worst games one of the worst items in Isaac was Glass Cannon. It was an active item, and when you shoot it, it shoots this giant piercing shot that goes across the screen and brings you down to half health. Now, like 1/2 heart of health from no matter how much health you have. Now, it's one of the best, most overpowered weapons in the game. Now, it doesn't take away any health, and it auto recharges while you're in a room. But if you get hit, the cannon breaks and needs to rebuild itself over 4 charges. So there's still a risk reward of picking this weapon up. It just also becomes an unstoppable death cannon.
Great.
It's Moon, you'll know what this means. Shot speed and range no longer affect each other. So items like Eve's mascara are pretty good now.
Okay.
Tiers no longer count down; they count up. So it's now when you pick up a tiers up item and the UI says like plus 0.8, I'm just like, no, that's okay. Before that would have been bad. Now it's fine. Oh God, what else? almost all of the bosses have been redrawn to look more terrifying and to have actual frames of animation for when they're going to do something that normally would surprise you and you would take damage. So somebody like Monstro or Peep, when they do their kind of jump off the screen and come back down, not only is there a much longer delay for when they come back down, but there's like a wind-up animation for, I'm not just jumping a little bit, I'm going to go, they're going to go off the screen and then come back down. So it's not like 2 frames up and down, you got hit. The Lost has Holy Mantle intrinsically now. D4 no longer re-rolls it. Yes.
Oh. I bet you love D4 now, don't you?
Oh, love it. Let's go. Let's get weird. Hard mode is hard.
Yeah, I was hearing about this a little bit.
Hard mode is real hard. I've been playing a bunch on normal because hard mode is really hard. Normal is difficult, but not impossible. So I think the way that I can liken it to is when Afterbirth Plus launched, I think my biggest piece of criticism, and I think I saw some of this reflected in the community, was it's hard in a way that feels mean. Like it almost feels spiteful.
But because Edmund is saying, stop playing this game, you idiots. Right. The more you play it, the more I have to keep working on it.
Repentance feels hard, but in a much more fair way because I'm rebuilding my flowchart. Like, I've never seen these enemies before. What do? Oh, when they die, they leave this giant cross-shaped fire path behind them, or they explode into a million tiny enemies that all take 1 hit apiece. Or they keep splitting every time I kill one. Now there's 8 of them on the screen. So a large part of that is learning the new stuff and like also relearning. One of the things Ed did in rebalancing item pools and items and shops and what drops and what synergizes with what is, as much as I do, Moon, that oftentimes in Afterbirth and Afterbirth Plus, you could get one item, Maw of the Void, Serpent's Kiss, Dark Bum, any of these items, and as soon as you picked it up, no matter what else you had a 1 run. So you're like manipulating the game or breaking the game in a way to give you one of these handful of items that are just inherently good. You pick it up, you win. A lot of the rebalancing in Repentance has been to get rid of that. There still are combinations of items that you can get that will guarantee a win. There will still be items you'll pick up that are still very strong, but more often than not, you're not going to pick up one item, and it's like, okay, well, I win. I got the book that gives the Satanic Bible. I picked that up. I'm going to win because nothing's ever going to kill me at this point. I can just every 6 charges I've got a black heart. More often than not, Satanic Bible is a perfect example. If a item gives you a direct bonus like that, it's going to have a downside. So Satanic Bible, every 6 charges still gives you a black heart, but the floor you use that on, you have to pay for the item that drops on the boss fight. And you pay for that with hearts. So it turns a normal item into a devil deal item.
So then is there a way to get around that, to collect the item, then use it?
I haven't tried doing that yet, largely because devil deals are different now. No longer can you pick up a 2 red heart deal with just 1 red heart. You have to actually fully be able to afford the item. And sometimes it will mix red hearts and spirit hearts for your payment. So it'll be like 2 red hearts and a spirit heart. 1 red heart and 2 spirit hearts for payment. And on top of that, they changed how the keeper works. The keeper no longer has to pay for devil deal items with health. He pays for them with coins, which is incredible. An incredible change. There's the patch notes that they put out, which number 1, thank you for finally putting out patch notes. The patch notes that they put out have literally hundreds of changes in it. Like virtually everything in this game has changed, and they just put out a big patch for it because the changes they made to shops on hard mode was mean. Essentially, there's now a chance when you run into shops in hard mode that the shops will downgrade in quality no matter what you have unlocked. So sometimes you'll go in there and it'll just have 2 items. Sorry. And it might be like a bomb and a key. Sorry. They reverted that. So if it decreases in quality, it'll just take like 1 step down as opposed to 4 or 5. So that feels a lot more fair. And I think that'll make getting through hard mode a little bit more attainable. Also, the alternate floors in this, very much like Gungeon's alternate floors, brutally difficult. Like, just incredibly hard. Repentance is really great. It's so far, and I've only scratched the surface of getting to the new final boss, which I have heard about, and like getting to what is now considered the true ending of Binding of Isaac, which thankfully I have not had spoiled yet. I've like only scratched the surface. I've only unlocked 1 of the new characters. I've only done 1 of the new challenges. There's like 7 of them, and 2 of them unlock by default. Repentance is really great. At this point, it's pretty understandable that I will like a new Binding of Isaac thing, especially since now Ed has been saying like, no more Isaac for a while. I'm tired of working on this. I want to go make short games that make me too. No, he said even before Mugenics, he wants to start making a bunch of stuff that takes him like 2 weeks to make, which is like that game Fingered he made with I think with Tyler. Just knock out something in about 2 weeks, put out a whole bunch of stuff for a couple months, and then kind of work on Mugenics, which Mugenics looks really great. But like, I have only started to scratch the surface on Repentance. I've only started to see some of the weird, crazy, terrifying stuff there. The second piece of the new thing you have to build to get to another boss has a legitimately terrifying and actually surprising sequence attached to it, which is not something we usually get in Isaac. It's great. Repentance is great. It's if anyone, Ed had mentioned that he has 2 recommendations for how to play. One is a largely complete save file, which I have a completed save file, and then a brand new one, so you can kind of see everything as it unlocks. I haven't started a new one largely because there's so much stuff to unlock. I don't even want to spoil some of it, but the amount of unlockable stuff in there is insane. There's just like,
it already was insane. Come on.
Just like, I wish I could talk about it. The amount of stuff in there to unlock. I don't want to spoil it. There's a portion of the game that you can complete, and it will unlock something brand new for a whole bunch of stuff. And the community is like, every day they're finding like, hey, if you go do this thing, there's a whole extra set of content over here that you can just kind of keep doing and repeating. It's great. Repentance is great. And I wish I had more to talk about it, but like I said, this week was pretty rough, and I didn't have nearly as much time to kind of really dig into this as much as I wanted to, but as much as I've played, it is radically different, but I think in a really positive way, which I think is kind of a testament to how long they worked on this. It isn't just, hey, we changed everything and everything's different. I hope you like it. And it's like, no, this isn't, I don't want to play Isaac anymore. It's now everything is different, and this is really exciting. And it largely seems like all of the nerfs that happened for really positive reasons. So
more of a tweaks and balances rather than a complete remake.
yeah, and like Azazel got nerfed. Like his short brimstone shot doesn't do nearly as much damage as it did before, but it ticks more often than it did before. So it's like sort of pluses and minuses. He's now not the win button just for picking him. He's, you got to make a build with him. You've got to get the right items and make the right choices. So a lot of it was really, really positive. But that's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break.
Job.
Starting it. How hot is it? It is hot in here. 77, which means this room is probably about 10 degrees hotter. Oh, first spam in a while. Wow. Block. Bye. Okay. What time is it? Oh, okay. You ready to ready to take care of the rest of this episode?
Yeah. Don't forget, dude, we did have a part 2 of critical misses today. So there's a reason why
that went.
You think
those always go long. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of April 5th, 2021. Oddworld Soulstorm comes out PC, PS4, and PS5. It is on PS Plus day and date for the PS5. So another game I was looking forward to on one of the two platforms that I don't have to pay for, which is...
It's always good.
I will always take that.
This is not on Xbox.
Yeah, I wonder... I'm hoping that... I get the impression that Sony funded this one.
I think it was an exclusive. It was an exclusivity deal because Soulstorm was at the Xbox Game Showcase, one of the more recent ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that in a couple of months it comes over to Xbox and on Game Pass. That would be great.
Well, who knows, dude? Because at this point, cats and dogs are living together. It's the end of the world because MLB The Show is going on Game Pass day and date.
Like, so here's the funniest thing. Number one, I'm very happy to see MLB The Show on a lot of other platforms. Number two, looking at it on Game Pass for free, don't at me. I think that's great. And then looking over on the PS5 store and seeing that it's $70, that's a rough comparison, man. Like
you're literally pushing your own game,
right,
on a rival, quote unquote rival platform, right, where it's a better deal.
Right, like indisputably a better deal. It's just it's baffling, and it's not even like I don't even know if it's on PS Now when it launches on PS4 or PS5. So it's just like you don't even have like feature parity for your own platform. Like it's baffling. Sony, make your own Game Pass, please. Play at Home is great. The PS Plus collection is great. PS Now is not great. Do something else, please.
Yeah.
Star Wars Republic Commando come out on Switch and PS4. If you've never played that, we do have a Game Club episode about that. That's a good game. But hopefully people...
I can't even remember Republic Commando, to be honest.
That's the 4-player, or you're switching between 4 like clone troopers in like this first-person tactical thing. That came out on the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube, I think. So it's a couple generations old. Solid game. Curious to see what they're gonna do with this most recent version. Hopefully, just like slap a new coat of paint on it and call it a day, because it was pretty solid back then. Mm-hmm. And lastly, here, The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 4 comes out on PC and the Switch. It's a shame Nimp isn't here. He could sell you on the game again. He loved it. Something about vampires.
Yeah.
I don't know. News stories here. Well, just the one. Sony's other super bummer of the week. Sony is going to close this summer the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita stores. You will not only no longer be able to buy digital games on those platforms, but you won't be able to buy anything in-game on those platforms if you own them. You will be able to re-download stuff that you have already purchased for now. But man, like, we just played, for Game Club, we just played The Bard's Tale. Was it remastered and re-snorkeled, or whatever it was called? Re-snorkeled?
Re-snorked, dude.
Yeah. Nobody cares about that game. We were probably the only 3 people that have played this game on the planet for like the last 4 or 5 years. It worked flawlessly on my Series X. Like,
now I'm curious about something.
Like, that's not even in the first 15 waves of things you make backwards compatible, but Microsoft has done a really cool thing and invested in the tech behind backwards compatibility and carried it forward from where it was working really well on the Xbox One, and now it works super well on the Series X, and now it has auto HDR, and now it has super fast load times because the SSDs, and like, you just download pretty much virtually anything you want from every generation of Xbox consoles, and it works. And Sony's over here saying like, LOL, old games, who cares? Whatever. Not even every PS4 game works. Whatever, suckers.
While at the same time talking about the next generation of PlayStation VR.
Right. Which probably won't be backwards compatible either. Because why not? Like, it's just, it's such a bummer too, because so many people online are like, well, why would you ever buy PS2 or PS3 games? Like, it doesn't even matter. It's like, they don't matter because it doesn't work on the PS4 or the PS5. That's why it doesn't matter. Like, those games, it's this like self-fulfilling prophecy that these games don't matter because you can't. I'm not saying like play PSP or PS Vita games on your PS5. That'd be great, but I feel like that would be maybe not as reasonable an ask as PS1, 2, and 3 games working on my PS5. It's just, it's baffling because I
mean, you gotta look at it. This wouldn't be so shockingly offensive to me if they had given heads up to everybody a little bit longer notice. I don't know if you noticed, it's spring. Summer is less than 3 months away, depending on when they want to do this.
Right.
That's a lot of work for the Internet Archivists to go and do beforehand. And also, I'm not promoting promoting privacy when I say this. I am promoting privacy. I'm not promoting piracy. But technically speaking, if you are not able to legally purchase the thing, you can download it. Yeah. Period.
At the very least, your conscience can be free.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not lawyers, to be clear.
Correct.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I think the argument is if you have a recourse to legally purchase something, then downloading it is illegal. If something is not available for you, then downloading it, there's no other way to get it. So therefore, what's the issue? But it's like Brian Altano works at IGN. East Coast guy, New Yorker, very sarcastic. He rightly said, probably the most accurate kind of thing I've heard about in regards to this. That's like saying, I own this giant 4K HDR TV. I don't see the point in watching The Empire Strikes Back anymore.
Right. Or like every movie before the 1970s, you just can't watch them. They're not on streaming services.
How are you going to watch the Zack Snyder Justice League cut?
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. Like,
it's just, and it's so disrespectful of your own platform and your own console's history. Like, the PS2 is a juggernaut of a console with hundreds of incredible games
you stole
that
my
you can't
J-word,
play.
by the way. I was going to say that.
Yeah, but like you just can't play. There's no legal great way of playing an incredible collection of PS2 games. And the idea that it's especially galling to me that they're just saying like, yeah, we're closing the store. The answer seems to be we just don't feel like running them anymore. For why? Are they costing you $1 billion a year? Like, it's keep them running on this dusty old cluster of servers in the back room of Sony Santa Monica and call it a day. Like, it just seems so like aggressively terrible in a way that Sony is usually like negligently terrible, and for them to be just like, yeah, screw those things, whatever, old games, LOL, right, fellow guys. It's just, it sucks, and
yeah.
There seems to be no inclination from them of investing in any sort of backwards compatibility or bringing any of that stuff into PS Now. And for them to just say like, yeah, we're done with it. See you later.
I can't help but think like, is this part of the network infrastructure that they've had issues with all this time?
Like, I mean, if that's how if that is a reason, spin it, man. Say like, look, we're investing in making the PS4 and the PS5, the PlayStation Network as robust as it needs to be, and as part of it, we have to sunset this old architecture, this old infrastructure that's kind of pulling us down and preventing us from, let's be honest, making the PlayStation Network good. And as a part of that, sort of have to sacrifice this old functionality. That would be a lot more understandable.
At least it's a reason other than double beds, I'm out kind of thing.
Yeah, you're like kicking the PS3 into a volcano and saying like, oh well, see you later. Who cares?
No, dude. Have you not played it, Tekken? Don't kick things into volcanoes.
They'll just come back even stronger. It's the whole thing is a bummer, especially Microsoft has done it right. They have invested in their technology, and we saw that work super well between the Xbox One and the Series X, where it's just like, yeah, remember all that backwards compatibility stuff? Like, it just still works on a more powerful console. We didn't just make that once for this one console. Like, we invested in the tech, and that works on the Xbox family of consoles.
Dude, even just talking about just talk about how much everybody was crapping over smart delivery.
Yeah, guess what? It actually worked like they said it was going. I feel like I was like one of the few people that's like, smart delivery sounds really cool. Like, I don't think this is a marketing thing. And there was a healthy amount of skepticism, especially for Microsoft. But like, and also, Microsoft's backwards compatibility cloud stuff is coming to PC really soon. And that just works too. You want to play a bunch of original Xbox games on your PC? Great, you can do that too. It's crazy how much of a night and day experience this really is, and it's a bummer. I don't know how else to put it. It's just, especially from a preservation standpoint, we're losing a lot, and with no way for us to get
a lot. And how many Japanese studios who made insane but great games on that platform no longer exist?
Yep. And Sony, by the way, also said, like, hey, if you're putting games out on the Vita, you have until June 20th to do it. Good luck. It's just like, oh, no. Okay. Oh, boy. All right.
It's like,
well, go on.
Like we talk about it all the time. Like, there was that weird Pokemon style roguelike for the PlayStation 2 that I just randomly had in my head. Like we
Oh,
were talking about this like a couple of months ago, and it was
the
like I
one where you
think
put
it
a
was about.
CD in your PS2, Monster Rancher?
No, it was a
Oh,
different one, but
okay.
it was similar to it was called Monster something, but it was like a mixture of weird Pokemon, and I didn't know it was roguelike at the time, but it was,
Right.
and it was like, okay, that's insane that like you hadn't heard of it, Nimp hadn't heard of it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's gone
Yep.
like completely.
Yeah. It's just it sucks. There's no other way to spin it. It sucks, and Sony doesn't. The entire internet is saying, "Hey, this sucks," especially from a preservation standpoint. And Sony's just like, "Okay, what do you guys the PS5? How's that sound?" It's like, "Okay, never mind, never mind, Sony." Let's move on to questions here. T-Bomb Rock sends us a question. Good afternoon, gents. Have either of you had any experience with Google Glass? And then he has a follow-up question here.
No.
No, that thing was so expensive, and like I think it had never really gotten much past the like sign up for the privilege of spending $1,000 on these glasses. And I was just like, no, no, that's I wanted to because I think AR is super cool. And I don't think there's any like really great like wearable AR tech out there. I know all the phones do AR now, but that's kind of beside the point.
I'm pretty sure any AR tech that would be cool right now is currently getting used by the military,
Right. Womp womp.
which means that we don't see that stuff for about another 3 or 4 years until after it's kind of phased out of that style.
Yeah. Bonus question. You've just been given a grant to design TVGP glass. The Google is silent. What changes would you make? Would you alter its tech purpose?
Yes. Do not record 24/7.
Well, number one, yes. Like, let's care about privacy this time. I feel like for me, for AR, my dreams aren't really anything crazy. I just want it to complement the stuff that you're seeing. I want like Dead Space's idiot line, drawing your line to your destination, like
It
in a
was
really
literally the first thing that popped into my head.
like in a really thin way along the sidewalk you're walking on. I want you to look at a sign and have it translate it into your native language that you have chosen. Like I want that. I don't want it to
Do-
replace your entire thing like Syndicate Wars or anything, but like
Yeah, like just little bits and pieces, like not even necessarily an idiot line, but even just a thing in the top right corner, which is like a little right arrow or a straight arrow or a left arrow, depending on what your next turn should
have
be.
the like Burnout Paradise thing where it's like, oh man, take a left on Paradise Boulevard. It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be.
Like,
I never want it to replace anything. I just want it to complement the things that you're looking at without blocking anything that you're seeing.
yeah, I mean it's right in the name. It's supposed to augment, not overwrite.
Right.
Like
And it's also in
so,
the name glass. Like it shouldn't be like, oh, you see rainbows and kittens and unicorns everywhere and you're just walking on a freeway. Like that's like the worst case scenario, but
mhm.
I
Like was it Black Mirror that had the augmented reality painters?
I've never seen Black Mirror. I know I'd like it, but I've never seen it.
You would like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was it was Black Mirror, but it was basically people who were saying, yeah, when people choose not to have like certain things show up, like you know how you can choose to not have your house on Google Maps,
Oh, right, right.
stuff like that, and basically what that means is this guy goes around and he imaginary paints in the air. And then in
Oh,
augmented reality, you can see it getting blocked off as he's painting this augmented
oh,
reality
interesting.
house out of existence because they chose not to have it there.
Right. Interesting.
It's like weird dystopian future stuff is dystopian.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I
I
mean,
go ahead.
AR is the chance to actually improve. That's the thing.
Right.
Like, uh, I don't have to put a headset on and then ignore everybody around me and have a dedicated room.
Hmm.
Like, I had people talk about the Halo AR experience. It's like, yeah, there's a Halo waypoint down that corridor and you can see it through the glasses.
That's
Like,
cool.
stuff like that is cool.
Yeah, I want it to be like complementary and assistive. Like I would like it to largely help people that are wearing the thing, but not like I'm listening to music, so one of my eyes is the lyrics for the song and the other eye is the music video for it and I can't see anything. Like that's not
Mhm.
what I would want. I want it to be like the GPS on your phone, like on your the dash in your spaceship car where it's showing you where to drive. Nothing really more than that. I don't have
Yeah.
lofty goals for technology that can help, which
I
means it
don't want to
probably
have to
won't ever get
pay
made.
for a, I don't have to pay for a simple service. You already monetize me in so many ways. Stop
Right.
trying to monetize me in these ways too.
Yeah, just monetize where I'm walking. Whatever. Like
It's not like I don't do that anyway with my phone in my pocket, my watch on my
yep.
hand, on my wrist that's connected to my phone in my pocket. Like,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see a surge of AR products, but I don't see a market for it unless there is some sort of if we didn't have phones being as powerful as they are, I feel like you could probably sell AR tech where it's like, I'll never get lost again. I got my glasses on, no big deal. But it's like, no, everybody has a phone and it does 50 different things that I need it to. I'll never get lost again.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think phones kind of made so, especially the style of phone we have these days, it
Yeah.
made so much technology obsolete instantaneously.
Yep. Yeah, someone posted on Twitter the other like maybe a couple weeks ago, and it's one of those moments where it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like if you have a phone, you're getting lost is a thing of the past. Like GPS
Hmm.
just works everywhere, and like it's one of those things where it's like I'll never get in a car and just be like, all right, I think the concert is west. Let's leave early so we can find it. All right, let's go. Like it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool though. For as horrible as some of this tech is, some of the modern conveniences are actually pretty nice. Yeah. Thank you very much, T-Bomb, for writing in. That's our episode this week. Thank you for listening. TVGP.tv is where you can visit us. You can find and follow us everywhere on the right-hand side of the page, including the Discord server. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Talked about all the benefits to you as the faithful and generous listener and hopeful patron. Don't forget, if you want to know exactly where your money goes, I'm very transparent about where all that stuff goes on the Patreon page right there. You can see exactly how much all this stuff costs. And I guess a $250 goal so I can start playing scary stuff.
Yep.
There's never a better time to scare the poops out of me, hopefully, figuratively, live on stream.
It will be literally.
Hopefully not. I have a hotkey for like, be right back, boop. We're playing
I'm sorry, was
a
that boop or poop?
little bit of both. Yeah. We're playing Life is Strange 2 right now for Game Club. Don't forget you can get early access to Critical Misses, which we're sort of wrapping up season 6 here pretty soon. Thank you for voting for season 7. We're hitting up our alien consultant, our expert here in Mackie from No Quarters and BMF Cast, trying to figure out the best, most complete version of. He has a lot of opinions on it, so we're trying to hit him up on what's the best, most optimal version of Alien we should
Hmm.
watch here.
And the
I
best
have
thing is, everyone will have opinions. Your
yeah,
opinions don't matter. Only Mackie's.
and the rough part about movies that have so many versions like this, where there doesn't seem to be a definitive version, where like everybody is like, go watch this version, this is the best one, is there's no right answer for that. So it's not like, oh, just watch all the theatrical ones or just watch all the director's cut ones. It's like this one of this one and that secret version over here, and this one has a weird name, and it's tough. So we're going to do
Yep.
our best. I also have started live streaming our raid nights for Destiny. If you want to come hang out, I just did a 3.5 hour long stream on Friday, starting at around 6 p.m. Pacific. Twitch.tv/Boston Hannon. Come hang out.
Yeah, dude, that was so long for me. I was like, I think I was wrapping something up. I was like, yeah, I'll watch Boston for a bit before I go to bed. It's like, no, it's like he's
Yeah.
only just begun, and it's like midnight here. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff on Friday. We pack a lot in there. So you don't need to know anything about Destiny. Usually we run a bunch of raids and we're sort of farming one and learning another one. So if you kind of want to see both sides of our team, and it's just a fun place to hang out. Nothing crazy, nothing toxic. That's not really our group. So come hang out with us. And community member Binary Viking is also streaming. So we usually send out a link for watching both of us side by side, so you can kind of see everything from two perspectives. Come watch us.
You know what? Mixer used to have a really good option to do that.
R.I.P. Gone too soon. Never got a chance. Poor Mixer. What a weird sentence to say now that's gone. Poor Mixer. It just never got there, man. Boy. Well, on that note, that's our episode for this week. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Share with me your titles.
That could be a title in itself.
That's right.
Out on assignment.
Mm.
Make peace, make war. Shelob of Destiny. All of it was me. T4L. Too tired to fight. The flowchart is in shambles, which is a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
Re-snorkeled. Double beds, I'm out. The Google is silent. And Paul Mixer.
The Google is silent is really good. All right, I have my bills break even. I'm too tired to fight. Out on assignment. Shelob of Destiny. T4L. The flowchart is in shambles, and the Google is silent. For me, I put check marks next to I'm too tired to fight, out on assignment, and the flowchart is in shambles. I like that flowchart one a lot.
Yeah, for me it'd be too tired to fight, flowchart and shambles, or Shelob of Destiny. So we can cross off Shelob and we can cross off whatever the third one you said was. So too tired to fight or flowchart?
Yeah.
We can feel flowchart.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more strongly about flowchart. I'm too tired to fight is good, but I think flowchart is a smidge better.
Mm-hmm. And the worst thing is they're both super applicable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good titles this week. All right, I have circled it. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 702 for April 5th, 2021. The flowchart is in shambles.
Is soy milk good yet? Not the actual milk, the item milk.
Okay, before we go, soy milk is super great now because it doesn't do as nearly bad knockback. And if you get not Epic Fetus, but the one where it's just in the jar without the top hat, if you combine that with soy milk, those bombs don't knock each other around anymore. So the chances of you blowing yourself up with that item are very small. So combining that with soy milk is an unending death stream of bombs, and it's incredible. Isaac is crazy right now. Yeah, Isaac is crazy right now. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live. We'll see you next week. Bye.